Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Sorry about the opening there. Welcome to Uncle No Identity's YouTube channel. We're going to be filming this at a different angle. I got my tripod holding the phone. I'm going to swing you guys down real quick here to the front. And decided to do a little discussion. Not like y'all have asked for it, really, but... Oh, crap. I just messed that one up. Okay, so... There. So, has anyone ever wondered why my engines look like this? Okay, let's be honest, no one really knows and no one cares. No one asked. But I have a tendency to black base my models and then paint them in engine color. This Hemi here is painted in Hemi orange over black base with some gold paint on the headers. Kinda hard to tell. The Queen of the Chryslers, as I call it, this 440, has been black based and painted in turquoise. You can see it more on the manifolds, the black basing. And now I know someone's gonna say the fan clutch doesn't work. Well, when you assemble this kit, I have to glue the fan clutch to the block if I want to leave this free spinning. If I glued the fan clutch to the fan, it would just fly off. So that's why that doesn't work. But anyway, here's my 440 black base and turquoise paint. And this is the 429. Yeah, my Ford 429 with a dual quad. Also black based and then blue paint over top. I do this to get a darker and bolder color. And here's what we're going to be taking a look at today. It's my 426 Max Wedge V8 going into the 65 Plymouth Belvedere. And as we can see, I've already painted half of it. So I'm going to set you guys aside here and try to stand down, get it adjusted. I'm trying this out, guys. It's a new camera angle, so alright. Okay, that should be good. I'm just trying something new. I'm gonna do a tutorial this time. Okay, so this Hemi motor was painted with enamel orange, and I've tried using this acrylic orange, but this orange is too bright for me. But I like using acrylic paints. So I use 1 drop of Calvary Brown from Vallejo, and I used 5 drops of this orange, and I mixed it together here, and this is the color, and this is the color on the block. It's a nice dark blood red, blood orange kind of color. Look at that. That looks kind of cool. Alright, so this is my technique for painting up motors to really keep the effect there. The sort of worn, aged effect like you see on some of my other motors. You see the black here? The blackening underneath everything? I'm going to show you how I do that in this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a towel or a napkin. It's important to have that. Not left-handed, so I'm going to try my best here. So I dip this in a little bit of water, dab it out some, and I touch some of the paint, and then I dabble it onto the paper like so. Now I've got a little pad of the paint here. Now with this, I just stipple. And if I don't like it, I can dab a little more off. And now here I can get more aggressive because there's less paint on there. Can you see that? And you'll notice the starter and the oil filter is missing. That's so I can actually paint in here better. I've had times in the past where I get the full block and everything assembled, and right in this little gap it just will not paint because everything's in the way. I do apologize if it keeps getting out of focus. It's because this is shaking. Okay, let me try to reach my hand around like this. Okay, let me rotate things around. I'm going to hold it upside down so I can use the unpainted transmission as a handle. And all we do is stipple it. Stipple it all over the engine. Blow dry it and see how it looks. Now this is obviously much bolder on this side, so we just simply come back here, get the dampness out of there, touch the paint, put that back in that damp zone right there, and we're gonna do it again. Just by lightly. Okay, now that's too much, so we can put this down, sort of let it get out of there. And now that I have all this right here, I'm going to quickly stipple it like so. And just attack the block like that. And when you stipple like this, you will notice kind of how uneven the paint is applied. This cast texture is very good for allowing you to get the shadows in there. On the front, not so much because there's no hardness there. It's all smooth plastic. And I do want to point out something of my valve covers. The valve covers are kit chrome, and you can just brush it like that if you want. They are kit chrome. I have not de-chromed them, and I want them to stay chrome. The good part about these is, anyone who's ever tried to paint on chrome, you might know it's a pain and it won't stick. There's something about the chrome that's too like smooth. There's like a little bit of grit in the transmission back here, and some people actually take sandpaper. I know when they paint a car, they'll get a little thin, or like 600 grit sandpaper you'll see in the videos, and they'll sand the entire body. First off, they got to sand off the mold lines with maybe a more aggressive sandpaper to get the nicks and body lines out. But then, oops, sorry for shaking the camera. And then they'll sand the entire body smooth, which not only does it sort of smooth out the body, but because the whole thing is scratched up, the scratches act as like bite marks, which help the paint adhere better There's a little bit of orange on this side, but it's hard to tell. It still looks pretty black. So we'll just add another stippling round to it. I think I'm jumping around. I never told you about the valve covers. Okay, so back to that story. See this paint on the valve cover? Because paint doesn't stick to the chrome, I can easily take something like this toothpick and scrape it off. And you must use something as soft as a toothpick. If you use your hobby knife, you will probably, even if you use the non-sharp side, you might accidentally cut through the chrome. Unless you're actually trying to cut the chrome off, which even then, if you're going to remove the chrome, it's better and safer to use chemicals. I've done a video, and a lot of people have done videos on that, where they literally dump everything in this chemical bath. When I did my Dodge Challenger, I let that sit in a Mr. Clean degreaser solvent for a few days. And that solvent literally took the chrome, and if you've ever stripped chrome and you don't wait long enough, you'll see that smooth, sort of silky, tannish tan color on the supposed to be white plastic. That is the primer chemical that they use to let the chrome paint adhere to it. If you let your chrome parts sit in a bath for long enough, you can actually strip this down to bare plastic. Even the chrome primer is removed. So we're just going to keep stippling this here, like so. Again, guys, I do apologize if it's not very stable. This is the first tutorial video that I'm making. Alright, now take a look here. The intake manifold has been better blended with itself. There's some runs in the back we'll have to take care of, and that's easy. We can stipple it, really get all of that to cling to itself, like so. Or not really cling to itself, but cling to itself, but rather smoothing it out so you don't get those runs and puddles and pools. It's a little too dark on this side here. I'll have to come back and do that. But see, look at that. This just when I paint my motors like this, I like to think it gives it that gritty, worn down, but not used and abused and is dead. It's the paint makes me think it's a real workhorse of an engine and just will not quit. That's why I paint them in this color scheme. And also I think they just look pretty cool inside the engine bays. Now we come here, and I got this little bowl back here with these teeth in it, and we brush the brush on the teeth, and we just clean up our paintbrush. You can't see that, but there's my little paper towel, and just do that a few times, and now your brush is clean. And there you go. Real quick, I'm going to show you something on this side, on the passenger side. Come on, focus on the block. Focus on the engine block. So right here is what I'm talking about. You take your toothpick and you just rub it off like so. And the toothpick is so soft and it's not very abrasive. It just peels the paint off. Alright, that's out of focus, I'm sorry, but ta-da! On the driver's side, you see this big blotch here, and there's some paint here, and now it's gone. Because we just take our toothpick, and there's a little bit right here on the valve cover. We just the same way you use an eraser to erase your pencil marks. Ta-da! Cleaned it up. Okay guys, well, I'm gonna have to get going soon and doing things. Have to run a few errands. Probably the next video I'll do, the whole engine and transmission will be painted. The starter and oil filter will be installed, and if we're lucky, the exhaust manifolds might be installed too. So just stay tuned for that video when it comes out. This has been, I think, my very first tutorial video. Again, if this thing's gone out of focus more times than I can be bothered to count, I do apologize. I'm not the grandmaster at making tutorials. Ta-da! That valve cover is clean though. Oh, watch the phone stand. There we go. Well, I'm Uncle No Identity. I hope you like this video. Hope this inspires you to build and paint models for yourself. So there's my 426 Max Wedge, the Ford 427, a 440, and a Chrysler 426 Hemi. All of them have been black based and painted their own colors. Orange, turquoise, and blue. Well guys, I guess I'll get going now. I'll see you all in the next one. Gotcha. Here we go. Cheers.